All right, there we are. How do I get the link to this guy? There we go. That's what I was looking for. If the audio actually comes out on that. Yoink. Let me check this out real quick. Security alerts. Yeah, whatever. Hmm. Okay, too. Hello. Your audio stream bit rate is lower than recommend that you audio stream bit rate of 128. Okay. to find out how to change the audio. Settings, audio. Sound detection. Audio mixing sample rate. Advanced. Here we are. Okay. Local recording file. Settings. Where'd you go? Okay. Delay, 1 second, silence. Yeah, I'm not finding the audio. No dropped frames. Oh well, I'll figure it out later. Excuse me. Hazardous waste. Oh no, the baby. Probably. I was using just the light from the monitor and realized it was dark as shit. So I ended up putting my lamp on. But yeah, right now it's printing one of the corners for the Core A8. It'll look something like that. All the stringiness of PETG. Who doesn't get this shit all over their hands? Um, I didn't. And then I started playing with speed settings and retraction and all that. And was it pressure advance? And now I have stringing. Did you go back to sleep? Beta. Yeah, you did. Good. They worked okay whenever I was using it, but I stopped using Cura because after 3 point something, uh, every update just kept screwing all of my settings. Like I would have to go through it, have to reset up like all of my profiles again, and it was such a chore. So I ended up just boot or shelling out the money, getting simplified 3D, and now everything's so much better. Not to mention it slices a lot better than Cura ever did. No more random funky holes in my prints. Here's something funny that happened with one of the Cubone skulls that I printed. I don't know why it happened like this, but for whatever reason, Cura decided that after it was done printing, it was going to ram the head into the print and then try to home, and it like jacked this piece all up right there. So, not really sure what happened there, but yeah. I tried to fill it in with some melted down ABS that I had, which is what this is ABS. But it just kind of sunk itself in. I'm sure if I come back again and go over it like body filler and sanded it, it would come out really nice. But I like it. But yeah, after that incident, I just kind of said screw it. I had to get 15 of those skulls of that size made, and it was going to cost me money if they kept doing that every print and just jacking them up. I was going to have to spend so much time clearing it. I just said screw it, about Simplified 3D and fix the issue instantly. Something about watching these prints, it's satisfying. Like, it's weird because this one is printing at a 0.15 millimeters in is the layer height instead of 0.25, which everything else is printed in 0.25. However, it's printing almost twice. Well, no, it's printing a little bit more than twice as fast as it was printing beforehand. Because beforehand, it was capping, I think, at maybe 40 millimeters per second, even though the requested was 60. But I went into the Duet firmware, the configure file, changed all of my acceleration, my max speeds, and just random speed settings, and now it's moving a lot faster. However, the goal is to hit 200 millimeters whenever I get the Core XY built. I'm going to be shooting for 200 millimeters. As for the skulls, it was a commission, something that we had going on at one of the clubs. They paid me. They bought all the filament. They paid me to do it, and I had a deadline to meet. However, even after buying Simplified, I still made out with like $40 for 15 skulls, and that was at the price they offered me. Let's see, what's it actually printing at right now? Get logged in here. So right now it's hitting 75 millimeters per second at the requested speed of 75 millimeters per second. Now it's requesting 150 and is hitting about 80, 30, 80. It's bouncing between 30 and 80. I don't know why. Oh, because it's hitting infill jerks and turns and shit. Yeah, that's the whole point of getting this converted over to a Core XY is faster prints. However, my main limiting factor right now is the volumetric flow rate for the V6. Even though it's at a 0.6, that makes you hit the flow rate limit a lot faster. So I either have to drop to a lower nozzle to print faster, or upgrade it to the Volcano and just get like stupid speeds. So we'll see how money looks after my income tax return, and I might be upgrading to a dual Volcano setup for the Core XY. And what I end up doing there is either getting it set up for hips and for like main printing, or get it set up so I can do like two different filaments. I don't know yet. Yeah, and that's one of the main reasons why I'm going to be using the aluminum tubing. However, I did just find today 25 by 25 aluminum extrusions from Mizumi. Probably going to be ordering that because that's the closest thing to 1 inch, which is 25.4 millimeters. And what I'll end up doing is printing a it's a 0.2 millimeter high like spacer, and have it with a channel on the inside to slide into the extrusion, and making it a cube that just an end cap pretty much that slides onto the extrusion and slips into the hole here to get it that nice snug fit that it's supposed to have, and use actual aluminum extrusions. But I'm only going to do that if I can actually hit the flow rate, or if I can actually hit the speeds that I want. If not, then there's not really any point. Do you actually have a Zesty? Like, I'm thinking about trying to use this guy and just modifying the files for the BMG Mini to take this flex shaft that I found in my shed. Like, it's an actual flex shaft from, I think, a weed eater. And it's a two-part, so it would actually slide into this guy. And, like, it's long as hell. So I could get it set up to where the drive motor sits above the printer itself and just zips around. Yeah, like I said, fuck, where'd it go? So I've got this little BMG Mini that I made a long time ago. This is actually made out of PLA. Probably going to reprint it as PETG or ABS. Haven't decided yet, but if I can actually get this working, what I'm end up doing is this hole here on the back. I'm going to end up making this wall wider and shrinking this down to actually fit a bearing that the shaft can go into and sit, so it actually can rotate. And then inside of here, there is a recess where the gear is supposed to sit in there, in that recess. Well, this shaft actually fits perfect in there. And what I'll end up doing is either making that hole bigger to fit a bearing that the shaft will, that you press fit in there, and the shaft sits and spins locked in there. And then, oh, what is it called? The extruder gear will just cinch down with the set screw onto the shaft itself and run out. But I'm also going to have to change the orientation of the filament path because it wants to print like this, and I'm going to have the shaft like that. So, like, the whole thing is just going to be weird. Like, I have to have it to where the the shaft will come in like this, or just change the whole orientation of that. But then it's weird. Okay, I don't know what happened. But yeah, so I may end up just redesigning the whole thing in general. Uh, because up top, I do want a gear reduction setup. So I'll end up probably having a 20 to 80 4-to-1 setup for more torque on the flex shaft, and we'll see how that goes. But I definitely want to use the Bondtech gears because they've just been so great.